Well, hello, brothers and sisters. Pro-life leader Frank Pavone here, bringing you my daily diary segment. What did I do the last week of February? That is Monday, the 24th of February through Friday, the 28th of February of 2025. Well, I'm going to tell you. I started out up in Port Chester, New York, still visiting with my mom in the hospital. Fortunately, during these days, improvements were happening, but I was assisting with her needs and my brother and the doctors and nurses, and so being there during the visiting hours. But on Monday the 24th, before going over to the hospital, I did an 8 a.m. national interview, followed then by another 8:30 a.m. national interview. Now, a lot of these interviews were in regard to the Pope, who was also in the hospital at the same time. Then I went over to the hospital and spent that time with the family. I had another interview at 12 noon. So what I did was I went back to the family house, did a Zoom interview at 12 noon for an hour, actually. And then after that, got some lunch and then had some people coming over to the house to do some cleaning down in the basement. Took care of that. Went back to the hospital for late afternoon and evening time, and actually then came back home, and after dinner had a 7:30 interview, live national podcast, followed by another Newsmax interview at 8:40 p.m. So it was a busy media day on Monday the 24th. Tuesday the 25th, connected with staff in the morning, had a 10:15 interview on the radio, and then another one at 12 noon. That was actually a Zoom call. It wasn't a media interview. It was a strategic meeting with some leaders. So what I did was, after my morning radio show, I went over to the hospital, was with my mom, and then stepped out into an area that was quiet in the waiting room and did that 12 noon meeting. Continued then with a 3 p.m. meeting with our executive director and finance director, just for routine updates, and continued visiting with the family, and then at the end of visiting hours had some dinner and went home. Wednesday the 26th of February, checked in with staff in the morning, had my usual visit over to the hospital when visiting hours began. I had to step out at 1 p.m. to do a video program. I did that interview at the hospital. Again, found a quiet corner in the waiting area and took care of that. Continued visiting with mom and my brother and the nurses and so forth. Progress continued to be made. Thursday the 27th, I left White Plains, left New York, returned the rental car and went to the White Plains Airport and flew down to Washington, D.C. There in Washington, D.C., I was scheduled for a couple of days of meetings with conservative leaders. Once I got down there and settled in, I met up with our executive director, who was also attending that same meeting. At 12 noon, I had to do a conference call, sort of a prayer call, for some Republican leaders. It was a nationwide call that they invite me on regularly, so I did that. And they wanted me to reflect on the upcoming season of Lent, which I did, and then returned to the meeting. Now, the meeting, hundreds of conservative leaders. We start off with a member introduction segment where each of us introduces ourselves, and we did that, and then we went into various presentations to the whole group, and followed by some breakout sessions. So I was spending the rest of the afternoon and evening interacting with these leaders, most of whom we know already, and we do things with them at different times of the year. Very, very energy-packed, busy time the whole rest of that day and night. Friday the 28th was the same thing. We were at this conservative meeting just outside of D.C. Presentations. I gave what is called a member report in the morning, updating the entire group about some of our latest Priests for Life activities and resources that they could use. interacted with these leaders and also with Janet as we were having opportunity to have conversations relating to planning Priests for Life activities, many different things going on. And then at 3:30, we had a business call with our personnel director, and then at 3:45 with our executive director for purposes of planning upcoming projects. That meeting went very well. Interacted with the leaders a little bit more, and then at 5 p.m. one of those leaders had me on her national podcast, so we went into a studio room and did that interview for about 35 minutes, after which there was a beautiful reception and a beautiful gala dinner. Interacting with the leaders, I had to step away from that dinner though to do an 8:30 p.m. Newsmax interview, so I went up to my room, did the interview, came back down and caught the last part of the dinner and the dessert, and actually had some very productive business meetings even there while having ice cream dessert in the hallway of the hotel with some of these leaders. That's what I did from Monday the 24th to Friday the 28th of February 2025. Hope your days are going well and fruitful and blessed. Looking forward to giving you more updates. God bless you.
Hello, this is Father David Begany, one of the many members of Priests for Life. This organization is one of the largest and most visible pro-life ministries in the world. The Priests for Life team relies on your financial support to be able to do its work, produce its programs, and travel the world to advocate for the unborn. May I ask you to support Priests for Life generously? Go today to prolifegift.org and give us as generous a gift as you can. Thank you for your kindness, and be assured of our prayers for you every day.
Hello, I'm Sam Brownback, and I've worked alongside Father Frank Pavone for many years on the cause of life. He's a true champion, and the Priests for Life have been wonderful champions of this great cause, of the cause of human dignity of every human at every phase of life, from the very first moment of conception until its natural death. The human species, the human person, each and every one are full of dignity, priceless in value, and Priests for Life stand for that. Join their work with them, work alongside them in this battle, this incredible battle, this fantastically important battle for life in the United States. We've got to win this fight. Join them.